For Sam Pittman and the Arkansas Razorbacks, 2024 is a make-or-break year. 2 years following a 9-4 record and an appearance in a January 1st bowl game, it seems like the wheels have fallen off the tracks for the Arkansas Razorbacks. But with a strong transfer portal class and including a big-time quarterback in Taylon Green, there calls for success on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think so, but obviously the analysts out there say otherwise. But to me, the biggest difference that Arkansas is going to have is going to be on the defensive side of the ball, and it starts with number 40, Landon Jackson. Today, we're going to be covering him and going over some film about what makes him such a dominant force on the outside and why he might be the most underrated superstar in the SEC. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lucas Hill, over of SEC Unfiltered. Please do us a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Also, check out the podcast version of SEC Unfiltered over at secunfiltered.com. You can get us on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts as well. Want to give a good shout out to our good friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. Prize Picks offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play. Even if one of your players gets injured, you can also win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks, turning $10 into $1,000. Go ahead and sign up over at prizepicks.com or download the Prize Picks app today on your Android or Apple device and use code SECU for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's promo code SECU to redeem your deposit match bonus today. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with our friends over at Prize Picks. Must be 18 years old or not available in all states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. Landon Jackson. Let me tell you what. This kid had a field day against Alabama last year. And there was a big reason why. This isn't just any offensive line. This isn't like going up against Vanderbilt. This is going up against Alabama's strong offensive line that has been known to produce big-time guys. He went up against Caden Proctor and had a field day against him. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some film breakdown of him. And I can't wait to show you guys. So here he is right here, number 40. Going up. This isn't Caden Proctor, by the way. He's out of the lineup right now. So let's take a look at his first step. So he does take a false step right there. The biggest thing that I want to see him work on is not take that false step anymore. He needs to lead off with this back leg so that he can get a better jump forward. But look at what he does. His ability to read an offensive lineman. Look at this. When an offensive lineman dips his shoulders as a defensive end, you notice this. What you do is you push back and you pull. That's called a push-pull move, and this is exactly what Jackson does. Engages with his offensive lineman, sees his shoulders dip forward, rips off of that first initial contact, uses that other arm to rip up across, maintains quarterback depth, and he's got a sack. So whenever you see him engage, look at his first arm. He's going to club across forward, knock away that opposing arm, and then watch his back arm right there. I know it's kind of hard to see. I do apologize, by the way. He rips up a little bit, and then when he does, his feet are maintaining where Jalen Milroe is because he's got a clear lane to run as well. And he tries to do that as well. But by the time that happens, Jackson's already got him wrapped up. So that's just one. So that one is just one of the main examples. This is him against Caden Proctor. And this is the one I was most impressed with whenever I took a look over at him. I mean, whenever here he is right here. He's lined up head on with the offensive lineman. So let's take a look at his first step. See, this is a little better. That first step, he doesn't take a false step. He goes up the field first. That slows your time down. It's not just whenever you're a defensive end and you're trying to pass rush. It's also whenever you run the 40-yard dash. It slows your time down by at least a tenth or 2/10 of a second with a false step. So he shoots hard upfield, and immediately he's going to dip and rip right before Proctor even puts his hands up. And as soon as he does that, because he's so fast off the ball, and once Proctor's shoulders are turned, it's too late. And I love this. For young defensive ends, this is what your coaches do. They make you run the ring. That's whenever you dip real low as you can, and you're going to have this back arm kind of swim across to maintain your leverage and maintain quarterback depth as well. He does this exactly well. Once he gets past Proctor, he doesn't shoot straight around Milroe. He maintains quarterback depth. Despite what Proctor does, despite him holding him, ends up being a sack. And here's the end zone copy of it for just a little bit. So whenever Alabama lined up in tight formation, whenever you have another outside backer across from you, he's all likely, this is going to be a blocker. This one may be going out for a pass. What you do in certain defensive formations, if there's no outside linebacker across from you, you're going to line up head on this tight end. But since there's a backer right there, he's going to just get in his normal stance in a 5-tech going up against Caden Proctor. And he does this so well. He doesn't bite for the play action fake. Remember, he's giving him a base block. Proctor doesn't set his feet all the way. And as soon as he exposes his chest, as soon as he tries to reach across him, he's immediately going for that club on his right arm. When he does this, boom. As soon as he clubs across, he's going to come right across and parry that other arm away. As soon as he does, most defensive ends are going to lose their balance if they do not consistently what we call run the hoop. Jackson does a great job of doing this, and watch what happens. Boom. I'll back it up a little bit. When you run the hoop, as soon as you got to maintain quarterback depth, especially against an athlete like Jalen Milroe, who will all likelihood be a Heisman favorite going into this year. As soon as you run the hoop, boom, that's perfect formation. All Caden Proctor does is pushes him back into his quarterback. So that's just another one. So this was an Arkansas team that was top 20 in all of college football in total sacks. They had 29 last year. Jackson was a big part of that. There's a reason why. And it's over little things like that. Other than that Bama game, he didn't really show out a whole lot. But when you watch him play, it's like watching clockwork. He's got active hands. He's consistently got great arm length. And he shows a lot of great bend whenever he turns the corner. He's not a lateral athlete, but he can close in on a quarterback very quickly. 6'7", 282 pounds. He is a perfect prototypical defensive end. And when you watch him play, there's no wonder why he's regarded as a top draft pick. And he very much so deserves to be. So let's take a look at Florida right here. Here he is lined up against this offensive lineman. Already, this offensive lineman is trying to get a jump on him because of how laterally quick this guy is. But as soon as he does that, it's this almost like the same move. It's a chop. He notices that an offensive lineman's hands are down. And when you do that, as a defensive lineman, you're going to chop. And as soon as you do that, bend the corner, get pressure. Forces a bad throw, a rush throw. Now, it does get caught, but still. I mean, that's just like watching magic happen. This really should have been a sack any other day. But when you're working up against a quarterback like Mertz who can get the football out very quickly, it's going to be hard to do. But apart from that, this is really good work by Jackson on the outside. So there really is a lot that he still has to work on, especially when it comes to this upcoming year. He still has to work on run stopping. He has the opportunity to be even better than he was this past year. Because other than that one game against Alabama, you really didn't hear a whole lot from him other than that. But it's also because of how Arkansas performed this last year. This is a guy that had 11 tackles and 3.5 sacks. But this is an Arkansas defense that is going to be revolving around number 40. He's a leader. He's a guy that has also gotten guys like Anton Junkai, who just came off a 15-sack year with Albany. You return Cameron Ball, Eric Gregory, Nico Davier. I mean, this is going to be a very good Arkansas front four, a much improved front four. But they have an opportunity to be even better than what they were last year. And I think that Sam Pittman is going to have to rely on his defense sometimes to win ball games for him. Because I don't think Taylon Green is going to be able to do it all by himself. But when you get a great defense that Arkansas brings back next year, there's no question in my mind, Arkansas is going to be one of the elite powers in all of defensive football, and Landon Jackson is the center of it as well.